Life, with all its ups and downs, requires us to face complex and sometimes challenging relationships. No matter how perfect a relationship may seem, we all know that nothing is eternal. Small arguments and disagreements are inevitable, and often not a big deal in healthy relationships. But there will come a time when we sense something deeper, a persistent feeling of doubt that's hard to ignore. You begin to feel you've lost that inherent connection, or some heartbreaking event has damaged your trust. How do you know when a relationship has reached its end? This is a troubling question, and not easy to answer. In such times, Stoic philosophy provides us with profound insights and wisdom to reassess our relationships. Stoicism teaches us that life requires inner peace and personal growth. Sometimes, to protect these values, we must courageously say goodbye, even to those we love the most. In this video, we will explore 11 signs that it's time to end all contact, whether it's with family or friends. These signs not only help you recognize the necessity of letting go, but also guide you on how to do it calmly and rationally, so that you can continue your journey to live a meaningful and peaceful life. Let's start this journey of understanding and discover how Stoicism can guide us by watching the video until the end, and not missing any of the 11 signs, because just one of the 11 signs can help you realize when to say goodbye to protect your peace and personal growth. Leave a comment saying, "I challenge myself," as a commitment that you will watch until the end and not miss anything. Sign number 1. When the relationship does more harm than good. Relationships play a crucial role in shaping our emotions and mental well-being. When a relationship causes more harm than it brings benefits, we must face the harsh truth that it is doing more damage than good. According to Stoic philosophy, recognizing and ending toxic relationships is essential to protect our inner health. Toxic relationships often manifest through signs such as a lack of respect, control, and continuous negative emotions. These signs not only erode your self-esteem, but also hinder your personal development. A toxic relationship can make you feel stuck, lost, and gradually lose faith in yourself. For example, a friend who constantly criticizes and belittles you, whether unintentionally or deliberately, is gradually undermining your confidence. Or a relationship where you always have to sacrifice yourself to meet the needs of others without receiving the deserved respect in return. The consequences of maintaining a toxic relationship are extremely serious. It can lead to stress, anxiety, and even depression. When you are constantly caught in a negative spiral, it is difficult to find true peace and happiness. This is why a positive environment is essential. A positive environment helps you grow, uplift your spirit, and foster creativity. Deciding to detach from a toxic relationship is never easy. However, it is a right and necessary decision to protect your inner health and promote personal growth. When you dare to face and leave harmful relationships, you open up opportunities to build more positive and meaningful relationships. Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher, once said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Ask yourself, can you continue to sacrifice your inner health for a relationship that is causing more harm than good? Prioritizing inner health and personal growth is the key to achieving long-lasting peace and happiness. Remember, true peace and happiness start from within you. Sign number 2. When relationships hinder your personal growth. When relationships hinder your personal growth, it's time to seriously reconsider them. However, a true relationship is only valuable when it helps you become the best version of yourself. Have you ever wondered if the people around you are genuinely pushing you forward, or are they just holding you back? A sincere friendship is one where both parties grow together, sharing common values and goals. Family love should also be the greatest source of encouragement, a place where you find unconditional support. But relationships don't always happen in an ideal way. Sometimes we encounter people who make us feel held back, or worse, make us lose ourselves. A prime example is the story of Marcus Aurelius, a great Stoic philosopher who had to deal with complex political relationships. He was always alert and reflective to recognize who was trustworthy and who was hindering his growth. Being cautious about negative relationships is necessary. It's when we need to stop, reflect, and reassess. These relationships can seriously affect your self-discovery and self-appreciation. When you constantly face criticism, control, or a sense of disrespect, you gradually lose the ability to perceive and develop yourself. Personal growth cannot be separated from the relationships around you. A genuine relationship will never make you feel small or powerless. Instead, it will be a source of energy that helps you explore and unleash your potential. Seek true friends, those who are willing to go through challenges with you, and share joy in the journey of self-discovery. These are the relationships that will help you develop comprehensively, both personally and socially. We must remember that ending a relationship is not a sign of failure, but a courageous step toward finding yourself. Be confident that each decisive step will bring you closer to peace and comprehensive development, because you deserve to live in relationships that nurture and honor your true self. We are curious to know, have you ever experienced a relationship that you felt hindered your personal growth? How did you recognize and overcome it? We look forward to hearing your stories. Have you ever felt like you had to compromise your core values just to maintain a relationship? Have you ever wondered if this compromise is really worth it, or if it just takes you further away from yourself? In Stoic philosophy, living according to personal values is the key to true peace and happiness. Let's explore why being loyal to personal values is indispensable in life. Sign number 3. If you are compromising your values. Living according to personal values is the core element to achieving inner peace and happiness. If a relationship requires you to compromise or abandon your core values, it is a clear sign that this relationship is causing you to lose your integrity and self-respect. Re-evaluating this relationship is necessary to ensure you are living authentically and maintaining honesty in your life. Personal values act as a guiding light, helping you navigate life and make the right decisions. When you betray your values to maintain a relationship, you not only lose honesty, but also find yourself in a state of inner conflict. This can lead to feelings of insecurity, regret, and loss of self-trust. For example, imagine you are someone who highly values honesty. However, you have a close friend who frequently asks you to lie to cover for them. Gradually, you feel you are betraying your own values and losing self-respect. Each time you lie, you feel burdened and more distant from your true self. This is a clear indication of a relationship that requires you to betray your personal values. Re-evaluating this relationship can be a painful and difficult process. However, staying true to your personal values is essential to protecting your integrity and self-respect. You need to choose the path that aligns with your values, even if it means ending an important relationship. When you live in accordance with your personal values, you will feel peace and happiness. Relationships that require you to betray your values only harm you in the long run. By choosing to stay true to your personal values, you will build more genuine and sustainable relationships. This not only helps you maintain honesty, but also brings you respect from others and from yourself. Sign number 4. Abuse in any form. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Nothing is more precious than the peace and dignity of each individual. Abuse, in any form, is a serious violation of these values and is unacceptable. Abuse can manifest in various ways: physical, mental, emotional, and even financial. These behaviors not only cause direct harm, but also weaken the spirit and will of the abused person. Forms of abuse, from domestic violence, harsh words, and psychological control to social isolation, leave deep and lasting scars. A specific example is the story of a woman named Linda, who endured many years of control and threats from her husband. At first, she tried to justify his actions, but gradually, Linda realized she was trapped in a toxic relationship. This realization was the first step for her to seek help and free herself. Abuse not only has negative physical effects, but also weakens the spirit and emotions. Victims often feel a loss of confidence, fear, and isolation. An abusive relationship typically features control, threats, and the devaluation of the other person. The abuser often does not take responsibility for their actions and tries to blame the victim. Recognizing and taking action in an abusive relationship is extremely important. This requires courage and determination. Victims need to understand that the abuser's actions are not their fault and seek support from family, friends, or victim support organizations. The journey to recovery requires time and patience, but it is also an opportunity to reaffirm self-worth and live a dignified life. The importance of recognizing signs of abuse cannot be ignored. Once recognized, ending such a relationship is a necessary step to protect personal peace and dignity. Living a life of dignity and respect is the goal that each follower of Stoic philosophy aspires to. By resolutely rejecting abuse, we are protecting ourselves and living up to the noble values that Stoic philosophy upholds. In life, we often face challenging relationships where negative emotions seem to prevail. These relationships not only destroy peace, but also harm us. Controlling your emotions is why ending a toxic relationship can be the first step to finding peace and personal growth. Sign number 5. When destructive emotions dominate the relationship. The impact of negative emotions in a relationship is very clear. Anger, jealousy, or disappointment not only destroy inner peace, but also erode the foundation of the relationship. For instance, if you constantly react angrily to a loved one over minor issues, you will gradually lose control and let your emotions dictate your behavior. This not only harms the relationship, but also makes you lose your precious self-control. The biggest challenge in recognizing and controlling negative emotions is the automatic response. We often don't realize that these emotions have accumulated and become too strong. Evaluating the motivations of the relationship is necessary to recognize whether these negative emotions originate from within ourselves or from an unhealthy relationship. Have you ever asked yourself whether these negative emotions are worth keeping in this relationship? Seeking inner strength and establishing healthy boundaries is the first step to freeing yourself from a toxic relationship. This not only helps you regain peace, but also allows you to discover yourself and enhance personal growth. When you recognize the value of calmness and control, you will see that maintaining a healthy and positive relationship is an important part of personal development. Ending a toxic relationship is not a failure, but a courageous choice to live true to your values and principles. Thank you for staying with us until the middle of this video. Your support and interest are the motivation for us to continue sharing these valuable Stoic philosophies. If you find this content helpful, please click the like button and share the video so that more people can access and apply these valuable lessons in their lives. We just talked about when destructive emotions dominate a relationship, which can disrupt your inner balance and weaken your mental strength. Next, we will explore another important sign to watch for when a relationship causes constant turmoil. Such relationships not only rob you of your inner peace, but also affect your mental and physical health. Let's delve deeper into this topic and see how Stoic philosophy can help us face and overcome these challenges. Sign number 6. When a relationship causes constant turmoil. Imagine a situation where every encounter with a friend or family member always leads to arguments, misunderstandings, and pain. These negative emotions not only affect the immediate mood, but also linger, creating a vicious cycle of stress and anxiety. This turmoil deeply impacts mental and emotional health, disrupting the balance that Stoic philosophy deems essential for achieving true happiness. The value of emotional balance in Stoic philosophy cannot be overstated. A serene mind helps us view life clearly and make sound decisions. When a relationship causes too much disruption, it is essential to assess its impact. This is not selfish, but an act of self-preservation and self-respect. The decision to end harmful relationships is a courageous and necessary step to protect inner peace. An illustrative example of this is the story of Julia, a woman who had tried to maintain a relationship with a longtime friend from high school. Every time they met, this friend would always bring criticism and negative attitudes, constantly belittling Julia's lifestyle and decisions. These words made Julia feel deeply hurt and mentally and physically exhausted. After many times of thinking, considering, and even consulting with loved ones and psychological experts, Julia realized that this relationship was harming her peace and happiness. Finally, with courage and determination, she decided to end the relationship. This decision helped Julia regain her tranquility, focus on more positive aspects of life, and open up opportunities for healthier and more constructive relationships. Seeking tranquility is not a selfish act, but a part of growth and self-respect. Courage in making difficult decisions demonstrates strength and self-control. We need to bravely evaluate and eliminate harmful relationships to protect and nurture inner peace, thereby achieving true growth and happiness. Sign number 7. If you are being manipulated or controlled. Have you ever felt trapped in a relationship where you no longer seem like yourself? Autonomy is a core value, as it allows individuals to maintain freedom and the ability to make their own decisions in life. Epictetus once said, "No one can harm you unless you allow them." When you are manipulated or controlled in a relationship, you are giving up your autonomy, which goes against the principles of Stoicism. Imagine being bound by invisible strings, where every action and decision you make is controlled by someone else. Manipulation and control can have serious impacts on your mental and emotional well-being. You feel imposed upon, lose your personal freedom, and gradually become dependent on others. This not only diminishes your self-worth, but also hinders your personal growth. Have you ever wondered, am I living my own life, or am I living under the influence of someone else? Recognizing the signs of a manipulative or controlling relationship is the first step to freeing yourself. These signs can include the other person always controlling your actions and decisions, you frequently feeling guilty or afraid when not following their wishes, and no longer feeling free within the relationship. Being aware of these signs helps you understand that your personal freedom is being taken away. Breaking free from a manipulative relationship is a journey of self-discovery and affirming your personal values. It requires courage to face the truth and decide to end the unhealthy relationship. This process not only brings you freedom, but also helps you realize your true worth and live authentically. Ask yourself, am I living according to my own ideals and values, or am I being held back by someone else's control? Only when you are free and autonomous can you truly be happy and fully develop. Ending a manipulative relationship is not about giving up. It's a powerful step to protect your values and dignity. There are times in life when we realize that the closest relationships are the barriers that prevent us from reaching truth and freedom. Immersed in illusions and sweet words, we easily forget the true value of ourselves and the life around us. But to live a meaningful life, have the courage to face reality and escape relationships that keep us away from the truth. Sign number 8. When the relationship prevents acceptance of reality. When a relationship prevents you from accepting reality, it not only harms your spirit, but also distances you from authentic living. Applied to personal relationships, this can manifest in a friend or family member encouraging you to maintain false beliefs or illusions about yourself and the world around you. For example, you might have a close friend who always advises you that you don't need to change anything in your life, even though you are facing many difficulties and challenges. This friend might make you feel comfortable in the short term, but in the long run, you will be trapped in a state of illusion, unable to see yourself and your circumstances accurately. The harm of this illusion in the relationship is that you won't be able to grow and overcome real challenges, living in a false sense of security without ever facing reality. The consequences of distancing yourself from reality are severe. You will lose the ability to react flexibly to the changes and challenges of life. Characteristics of an unrealistic relationship include maintaining unfounded expectations and lacking a correct understanding of the nature of yourself and others. Such relationships often lack frankness and honesty, leading to disappointment and conflict when reality does not meet those illusions. The importance of facing the truth cannot be underestimated. Only when you accept reality can you begin to address real problems and develop yourself sustainably. Recognizing and distancing yourself from relationships based on illusions will help you focus on what truly matters and build healthy relationships based on truth and mutual understanding. Join the conversation in our comments section. Have you ever been in a situation where a relationship prevented you from accepting the truth? How can you manage? Let's discuss how we can apply Stoic principles to create healthier, more authentic relationships. Your story and perspective may help others facing similar difficulties. Sign number 9. When the relationship is not reciprocal. A relationship only truly holds meaning when there is a mutual contribution, akin to how a garden thrives through the care of both the gardener and the plants. If a relationship becomes imbalanced, with one side making all the efforts while the other only takes, the consequences are dissatisfaction, fatigue, and sometimes even injustice. Imagine you have a friend who constantly relies on you for everything, from work to personal matters. But when you need help, they always find excuses or remain indifferent. This is a prime example of an imbalanced relationship where reciprocity does not exist. A balanced relationship is characterized by mutual support, respect, and shared growth. If you find yourself in a non-reciprocal relationship, the first step is to face and reassess the situation. Instead of enduring it, openly communicate your feelings to the other party. If there is no change, ending the non-reciprocal relationship is a way to protect your self-respect and dignity. Seeking balance in relationships is not only a form of self-care, but also brings long-term benefits. A balanced relationship helps you feel respected, encouraged, and nurtured. It not only brings joy, but also builds a solid foundation for other relationships in your life. Sign number 10. If there is a lack of mutual respect. Mutual respect is an indispensable foundation in any relationship. When a relationship lacks mutual respect, it quickly falls apart and loses its connection. The consequences of a lack of mutual respect can be very serious, ranging from feelings of hurt and loss of confidence to a decline in morale and self-respect. For example, imagine you have a friend who always disregards your opinions, frequently criticizes you, and never listens to what you have to say. This not only makes you feel hurt, but also diminishes your self-esteem and confidence. Such a disrespectful attitude impacts your spirit, making you feel isolated and undervalued. To restore a healthy balance in the relationship, it is crucial to have an honest conversation and set clear boundaries. Ask yourself, do I deserve to endure this lack of respect? And what can I do to improve the situation? Recognizing and addressing a disrespectful relationship is an important step to protecting your self-worth and maintaining peace of mind. Mutual respect is not only the foundation of friendship and love, but also the key to sustaining healthy and lasting relationships. Share your thoughts. Have you ever experienced a relationship that lacked mutual respect? What did you do to handle that situation? Comment below. Sign number 11. When communication consistently fails. In Stoic philosophy, effective communication is one of the key factors in maintaining a healthy and sustainable relationship. If communication within a relationship consistently fails, it can lead to misunderstandings, tension, and rifts. A typical example is the relationship between two close friends. When neither can listen and understand the other, conversations become one-sided or filled with conflicts. As a result, each person feels neglected and disrespected. They may frequently argue over trivial matters, causing distance and loss of trust. The consequences of failed communication are not only emotionally damaging, but also hinder personal growth. One-sided or conflicting communication not only reduces bonding, but also loses the opportunity for deeper understanding. To improve communication, Both parties need to listen with sincerity and be willing to understand each other's perspectives. However, if communication does not improve after many efforts, it is essential to reassess the relationship. Effective communication is the foundation of all long-lasting and healthy relationships. Without it, the relationship cannot grow and sustain. When realizing that failed communication is causing harm and hindering growth, sometimes ending the relationship is the wisest decision to protect inner peace and personal values. When ending a relationship, whether with family or friends, we all face difficult decisions. However, according to Stoic philosophy, there are signs that we should not ignore. These signs are essential to protect your mental health and respect yourself. So, do you think you should end all relationships, whether they are family or friends? Please share your opinion. A. Yes. B. No. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos on this topic. Please continue to watch the next videos shown at the end, so as not to miss the journey of pursuing Stoic philosophy. Thanks for watching.